What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today, so hit that subscribe, hit that like. Cardano ADA 24-hour trade volume surpasses $700 million according to CoinGecko. Cardano Foundation launches its new easy-to-use governance voting tool to help every ADA stakeholder participate in on-chain governance with confidence, create, sign, and submit votes with proper rationale documentation, and generate PDFs for transparency and immutable record keeping. This is also open source, so this has been a fantastic public service to improve the usability of voting and record keeping. Fantastic. Fluid Tokens says recent behind-the-scenes developments have exceeded our wildest dreams. Fluid will become the #1 driver of Cardano adoption within the next 6 months. We are expanding with new hires, building, testing, and deploying faster. Input Output says Leos is designed to increase Cardano throughput by optimizing transaction processing and the use of available resources. Leos better utilizes the time between Praos blocks and uses endorsements to ensure security and data availability. The beautiful thing about Leos is it doesn't compromise any of the fundamentals of Cardano, and we have a telescopic protocol. So in the event, if rarely something happened, we can just fall back with redundancy, just a smart default, which is great. I don't know of other networks that have such a capability. Input Output goes on to say that Leos aims to significantly increase transaction throughput on Cardano mainnet. This enhancement will support a growing ecosystem and more demanding applications. So opens up possibilities of new use cases, new applications. Strike Finance has been absolutely crushing it with perpetuals on Cardano. They launched 15x leverage. They've increased max position size to $50,000, and they generated 30,000 ADA in revenue on their first day of launching user liquidity deposits with over 400% APR for liquidity providers. So in a nutshell too, user liquidity deposits allows users to get a share of the revenue from the platform. So really love what they've been doing in terms of desirability and viability. Brave, with over 88 million monthly users and over 1.4 billion monthly search queries, now supports Cardano ADA mainnet on its beta browser. So you can access this already. People have been importing successfully into the wallet. Great to see, and I think it's just a short time around the corner for the main standard release to support it as well. DeFi Llama, world's largest DeFi TVL aggregator, is now tracking X flows by prominent Cardano Bridge WAN chain, which combines Uniswap v3's concentrated liquidity features with cross-chain bridge functionality, enabling seamless trading across multiple blockchains. Well, WAN chain plays a significant role with cross-chain and also a lot of assets on Cardano on there as well. So Xflows in a nutshell is just the next step forward by WAN chain to improve trading and reduce slippage and whatnot and make trade a lot faster. So I think we're going to see more and more cross-pollination, if you will, with Cardano and the features being developed by WAN chain. Well, a fantastic podcast with Charles and David Gokhshtein. Big shout out to David Gokhshtein. And Charles Hoskinson says there's going to be workshops in July and a proposal in August at Rare Evo to showcase how an active, managed, multi-asset treasury to boost stablecoins, TVL, and Bitcoin DeFi can be done within the Cardano governance framework. He says Cardano has a $1.7 billion ADA treasury. It's passive, unmanaged, it's single asset, non-yield bearing treasury. The question is, do we want to move some of that into an active, managed, multi-asset treasury and create yield? Is the goal to build up Cardano DeFi? Charles says the Cardano stablecoin ecosystem is lackluster. Our TVL is around $340 million, and the stablecoin minting is only $33.5 million. And just for perspective, guys, Ripple, RLUSD is sitting around 410 million. So just to give you a perspective of RLUSD in just a few months is already about like 13 or 14x that amount. That's what Charles means when he says when we invest in our own Cardano native stablecoins, it will send the signal of, whoa, they're investing. It's a bullish signal and it's invitational and it has a multitude of benefits. Charles says, so our ratio is about 9.8%. Solana has about $11 billion in stablecoins. Ethereum has $190 billion about in stablecoins. Charles says, my proposal is we take about $100 million of ADA, convert it, put half into a blend of Cardano native stablecoins and half into Bitcoin. Together, we will start generating yield. We take that yield, we buy ADA with it, and donate the ADA back to the treasury. Charles says we have a lot of faith in ADA as an ecosystem. The ecosystem is the largest ADA holder, sitting on $1 billion of ADA. The first thing you do when you have a sovereign wealth fund is you diversify, and then you're solving problems. Charles says Circle looks at two metrics. So this is so important for people who want USDC on Cardano. They look at how many stablecoins are deployed and TVL. $33 million in stablecoins and $300 million in TVL are not competitive metrics, while competitors are at billions. Historically, the first money in is done by foundations. Two very important things, guys. Facts don't care about feelings. 33 mil is 33 mil. So I agree with Charles and many others that we need to supercharge this metric, increase it, benefit our stablecoin growth, our DeFi ecosystems, prime DeFi yield products, as well as send the signal to others that we're investing. And it's going to have a multitude of benefits. And when he says that historically it's first done by foundations, well, it's kind of obvious that like many others, Solana Foundation, many others, they invest, right? They help with minting of the stablecoins. So thankfully, we can lean on our treasury. We can lean on decentralization. We do have fallbacks. Charles Hoskinson says other ecosystem foundations deploy hundreds of millions to billions of dollars into treasury management functions, which create TVL and stablecoin issuance. For example, when Circle USDC came to Algorand, hundreds of millions of USDC was minted, right? Who minted that? It's going to be the founding entities. Charles Hoskinson says the good news is I think we can get a proposal out pretty quickly as a community for a multi-asset managed treasury. Then you can talk about blockchain to blockchain partnerships, right? Bitcoin DeFi, Bitcoin XRP or others. We can do economic partnerships. So it opens up a lot more dialogue and generating a lot more utility and yield, and it has a lot of benefits. Big shout out to Altcoin Daily. I know some people give them flack, but these brothers often are putting a spotlight on Cardano, and they put a spotlight this afternoon on Ford Motor Company exploring Cardano via Iagon and doing the proof of concept with Cloud Court, Iagon, and themselves. So that's going to be interesting to watch. I also want to give a big shout out to you guys, Angry Crypto Fam. We're almost at 9,000 subs. We've surpassed 15,000 subs. And what can I say? Just thank you. I'm very grateful for you guys' support. Really appreciate you guys. And so not a whole lot going elsewhere right now, right? With global war tensions and just macroeconomics and everything. There's a lot of fear right now. So try your best, guys, to be chatted. You know what I'm saying? That tenacity, that resilience, stay positive. Eleanor says, sharing a message from Trump of, get it to my desk ASAP, no delays, no add-ons. He's talking about the Genius Act. So hopefully we get that sooner. It's all done with the Senate, of course, but the House of Representatives need to give it a vote as well. Don't know exactly when that'll be, but I think it'll be on the president's office very soon. Finally, Elon Musk's X to launch in-app investing and trading, apparently. So take this with a grain of salt, but I think that one way or another, on many of these Web2 apps, blockchain will make their way one way or another. Well, we were dancing with 59 cents, and I was watching it closely because if we go beneath 59 cents, I'm just going to keep buying more and more. I haven't bought since I last bought, which was at like 59 and 0.6, give or take. Over on TradingView, we can see Bitcoin dominance very high, 64.8. Bitcoin 104.6, ADA 0.6. XRP, very similar. A lot of the projects, it's not just exclusive to ADA. Alts are just hurting right now. Alts are not performing very well compared to Bitcoin, right? But I think that will change. The hubris of the Bitcoin maximalists will switch. It's just a matter of time. And so we still have to wait for peace dividends around the world. We need to wait for Russell 2000 index to reclaim its highs. We need to wait for Bitcoin dominance to tumble. There's a variety of factors, but step by step, it's not like news can brute force a higher price. That's not how it works. That's why, guys, USDC came to XRP, but it's still at its lows. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. I think the most exciting news for me would be the surprise update. Big shout out to Stake with Pride for raising the awareness to me for the news. I would say that this is fantastic because, guys, Midnight Network will also be supported by Brave. So I think it'll be a quick release for the standard version outside of just the beta version. But definitely thank you to Brave for integrating this. This is massive, and I'm very excited to see what else Midnight Foundation will release. So let me know what's exciting you guys the most right now. How low do you think ADA will go? Will it touch the 51-cent local floor? Will it go lower? Smash that subscribe, smash that like. I'll see you guys in the next Angry Crypto Show.